Okay, so the camp oven's on. We've got a nice lamb roast cooking this afternoon, and we thought what better day to show you our caravan. So we've got the Jayco Silverline Outback. It's not tailor-made for us as a family, but it was what we found when we were looking, and we've made it work for us. So come inside and I'll show you the interior.
I'm Brent, this is Cal, and together with our son Bear and dog Jazz, we're travelling Australia. Come and join us for our reality.
Okay, so as you walk in the door, on the left hand side in our version of the Jayco Silverline is our bedroom, and pretty much it's Brent and my space. We sit here and work on the laptop or watch TV and obviously go to bed. So standard queen size bed. It's really easy. It tucks away during the day. You just pop this up, and then to get it out for the night time, it's as simple as pulling out the bed, and you pull the mattress out and push that little cushion in, and then you've got a full-size queen bed, which is perfect. Sometimes we don't even bother doing that if you can't be bothered, because it is actually, if you take that backrest off, it's pretty much big enough for us to sleep on without having to do that. But we tuck it away every morning, just like as part of making our bed. So there's a few mods that Brent's done in the van that I really love. One of them is in the bedroom, and in regards to storage solution. So in each side we've got this identical cupboards. I'll show you Brent's. It's got less. We actually are quite minimal with our clothing. A few hanging space, and then we each just have one IKEA little box with our shorts and other clothing items, and then we've got a space for our personal, like our bedside table for each of us on each side of the bed. And then down here, this used to be a waste of space because Jayco had a false wall in here, but what Brent did is he cut it out, and now it's where we stuff all our shoes. So that is now a shoe bin, and then just we each have an undie drawer on each side. So yeah, Brent's a bondsman. Another thing that we use our bedroom for is to act as our baby change. So this is just a pretty cheap Kmart baby change mat that we had with us before we left. It just gets plonked on the bed during the day pretty much, so that when we change Bear, it takes 2 seconds, and then at night I just slide it away off to the side. Underneath these beds, which most caravan beds do, is they lift up nice and easy on struts. Heaps of storage under here. We normally fit our 2 chairs, a table and a step as well under here, but as you can see, I mean, there's heaps of storage that we haven't really used either. Also above our bed we have storage which we just use for books and things, and honestly we've probably got way too many for what we should be carrying, but books are something that you get a lot of when you have a kid, so we bring them along, got a few little games, but to be honest we haven't had a chance to pull them out. So we prefer just to sit out at night and watch stars and have a chat. So plenty of storage there. Another thing that we do love, that I have to say, and I don't know, probably plenty of vans have it, but I do know that some vans I've seen don't have this special feature, which is pretty friggin' awesome. So if I turn on all the lights in the van as I go throughout, there's actually just this central off button at each of the light switches, so we can jump into bed with all of the lights on, flick the off button, and they're all off. Doesn't matter if we left one on in the bathroom or not. So a standard caravan TV in here is just on a swivel stand, so we can watch it in bed, or if we're sitting at the dinette we can also watch it. The awesome thing about this van, and probably one of the good things about buying secondhand, is all the mods that you get, because we actually have a SAT King auto satellite. I don't know the specs, Brent can talk it through at a later stage. But basically it sits on top of the roof, click of the button inside this cupboard, and it automatically goes up and finds what it needs to find. So Brent can watch the footy wherever we are, doesn't matter if we're in the middle of the outback or not, and so he doesn't miss the footy. And secretly his favourite TV show is Maths, and he makes us watch that every time it's on, so he definitely is pretty glad that we've got the satellite. Okay, so this is the kitchen part of our van. Heaps of storage here. We use the drawers like you would at home. So we've got our cutlery and our utensils. It does look like a lot, and Brent tells me I have to downsize it all the time. But if you remember that we live in here, and I do like to cook as well, so it's just a bit messy. It would look a lot better, and Brent would stop hassling me if I kept it a bit neater. So cutlery drawer, then we just have our plates and bowls and cups. We use melamine plates and bowls, and then I have just a couple of real mugs because I like to drink a cup of tea out of a real mug rather than plastic. And as well as some of Bear's stuff that he likes to, well, has to eat out of, bowls and bibs and things. And then the last one is our plastics drawer, and this has got to be my most favourite plastics drawer I've ever had, or cupboard, because if you think back to your house plastics cupboard, it's usually the most hated area of anyone's house, not even just the kitchen but the house. It's always a mess, no one can ever find a lid, and I think when we return to a house one day, I'll keep these flat pack plastics because they just make it so much easier to stack and keep neat. These ones are really cheap that I've just found at like Robin's Kitchen or some kitchen store like that. It's one that always has 80% off, and I think it's in Queensland. Every time I go to the shops there, it's got an 80% off sale. So I've got a packet of 3 or 4 these foldable plastics. They're silicone for like $10. So definitely going to keep those, and I think that's a definite hack for a caravan because plastics just take up so much space. So that's our plastics drawer. Things like cutting boards. It's also where I store away the kettle into this cupboard here. And then the other cupboards are generally for pantries. So my second mod that I have to point out, a Brent mod, and probably my most favourite Brent mod, well, besides the cot maybe, is my tea shelf. This drawer, and whilst it's a pigsty at the moment, we've been down a bumpy road, is normally kept a lot tidier, but before Brent put this shelf in, I couldn't see anything. I couldn't get to my tea, couldn't get to our porridge, and now it just makes this space so much more usable because you can't generally stack things on top of things. And then he put this little shelf in for me and I love it. Okay, so our van has a microwave, never used it, and our cooktop, which I use all the time, especially when we're over in WA and it's windy a lot outside. I just find it so much easier if I need to cook on gas, to cook inside. It has a grill and an oven, and some people don't take the oven, but I haven't used it a lot, but I'd still have it if I had the choice. I haven't used it yet, but I would still have it if I had a choice. Again, I like to cook and I like to have the option. Don't always want to use a camp oven. So this one has, like most caravans, have three gas cooktops and electric. We went for just a whistling kettle that goes on gas and electric, and we don't have a cord or electric kettle or toaster or anything like that. And I totally recommend just getting one that goes on both. So when you're hooked up to power, just cook it on the, boil it on the electric stovetop. When you're on gas, just use one of the gas tops. Heaps of space. What a waste carrying 2 kettles. So just go for one like this. The other thing in the kitchen that we've brought with us, wouldn't leave home without our soda stream. I'd say Brent drinks it nearly every drink throughout the day, and I drink it a fair bit as well. We don't drink a lot of soft drink, but soda stream is definitely the way to go. It doesn't sit here when we're driving around. I actually just stash it away in our linen cupboard in the dirty laundry basket so that it doesn't fall off and break anything. And just got a pretty big size fridge for a caravan and freezer. Plenty big enough for the 3 of us. It's 3-way, so it goes gas, battery and 240 volt, but again I'll let Brent go into that when he does a bit of the exterior and without being sexist, manly stuff. Also got a shelf up here where our hot water switch button and things like that is. Again, I've chucked a travel mug in there, that's about it. And we've got a CD player, and that plays inside and outside on speakers, which we use all the time. So yeah, so that's the kitchen. Okay, so this area here is essentially Bear's bedroom, as well as our indoor dining area. So Brent's done an amazing job in converting this van into our version of a family van. Bear's been in this cot from the age of 4 months old through to now just over 12 months old, and it's just worked perfectly. Brent's done a whole video on the cot conversion, so if you're interested in how he built it, or what we sort of, the decision process we went through, watch that video. We'll post a link to that. But essentially Bear loves this little space, the wall stickers. He loves, now that he's at the age to really notice them and play and look at them. He's loving it. Brent and I sit here and have dinner when we have to, and we've been able to make that work for us. Plenty of room for 2 people, and Bear being asleep here. Works really well. Up here is pretty much just Bear's clothes. Again, I haven't tidied anything up. This is our real life living van, pretty much stuffed in. Heaps of storage. This is just like some extra blankets that we probably have too many of now, but when he was younger he used more of. And again, in the third cupboard, just some more of his baby stuff. So that's pretty much it for this area. We're up top again, it's just a shelf area that you can't keep too much stuff on because when you're driving along it will fall off. But we use this shelf primarily for, it's like our cabinet as you walk in the door at home, but we put our mobile phone and wallet and sunnies up there so that they're easy to grab on the way out.
Hey, what's going on in there?
Well, this is our toilet and bathroom. So we have a separate toilet and shower in this van, and it's got to be the biggest bathroom I've seen in the caravan so far, and I love it. Brent tells me that I have to give it up if we ever go to a van with bunks, but for now I've got to say I love having the extra room to be able to have a shower, get out of the shower, get dressed, do what I want to do, and not feel like when you have a shower the toilet's getting wet and all that sort of stuff. I know some people make do with that and so it's all good, but I can't stand having wet stuff around me. So this is our bathroom as well as our laundry. So standard sink, pretty big size shower, I've got to say, for a caravan, and I'll jump in there shortly and show you exactly how big it is. 3 shelves on here which we use for our nappies for Bear, and again nappies for Bear, and then this shelf here is just our easy to grab toiletries. Pretty exciting stuff in the bathroom. And over here is our laundry. So in our van we have a top loader washing machine underneath. This is our dirty clothes basket and our linen cupboard, and we've worked really hard, but made a conscious decision not to try and bring too much. So I have only one spare set of sheets and doona for our bed, and the same for Bear's bed, and then some beach towels and a set of towels for us. So
what do you think about the washing machine, babe?
Look, you can definitely live without it, but we do disposable nappies, and having the washing machine has been a lifesaver, as well as probably a lot of money, because you know, every time you do a load at a caravan park it's $4, and we do a lot of nappies. So
we use it all the time.
Use it all the time. It's a bit hard off grid, but we make it work, and we have used it off grid with the inverter, but the water is the problem. I should probably not have any more beer. Is the problem sometimes, but I definitely would do it again, especially having a young family.
100%.
Oh, there actually is water coming out. So our shower is really big. I can wash my hair and not touch the sides. Again, it's something that you can definitely go smaller on if you have to, but for our Jayco Silverline, I love the size shower, the size of the bathroom, and would definitely do it again if we had the choice.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's not quite like a standard shower at home, but it is really, so much better than a lot of the ones we've seen.
But I think, again, the difference, I think if you're trying to choose a caravan to buy, secondhand or new or whatever, when you're looking at the features, think about what you're going to use it for. For us, we live in this, so having those tiny creature comforts really makes a difference for being able to go the long haul. So not feeling like you're crammed all the time, I think makes us enjoy ourselves a lot more. Even though it's just a shower and a bathroom, it really is a lot more enjoyable.
Do you think you could travel without an ensuite in the van?
Full time?
Yep.
No.
No.
I mean, you definitely can. If you're going to choose Camp Chatler, you don't have to have a caravan, but if we're going caravan, the whole point is to be able to have a shower at the end of the day, because you just feel better when you go to bed.
Yep.
So I would do it all over again, and I would opt for an ensuite if I had the choice and the budget. So as you might know already, we bought this van secondhand, and it's actually come with a couple of, I dare to say, old people mods, which when we first got in here we had a bit of a giggle about, but they've actually turned out to be really good. So one of them is the carpet on the floor. It obviously keeps the floor perfect. I mean, again, don't mind the dirty floor, but keeps it in perfect knit. So when you're wanting to resell, there's no scuff marks and things like that. But the other thing I love about it, although it gets dirty, we do wash it, we do vacuum it, I can walk around at night or during the day and not feel like I've got sand and dirt all over my feet all the time. It's just, again, it's one of those things that you take for granted, I think, but I love it. And don't know if I'd go out and buy it and get it done, but
I would.
I'm so glad that it's here. The second mod is these rails overhead. These rails here, the previous owner used because they found that they didn't have enough cupboard space for clothes. We find that there's enough, but they come in handy for so many things. So drying our clothes, sometimes if we can't hang them outside due to the weather, we will hang them on hangers and then hang it in here to dry. It works as a perfect hat rack. I also keep this is our fruit and veggie bowl, so really handy to, nothing much in it at the moment, but really handy to keep these off the bench and out of the way. And if you don't have enough fridge room for the things that don't need to be in the fridge, then they work perfectly as well. So I hang them off that. But yeah, there's heaps of things that we find that we use it for, and you know, for things that we sort of giggled at on the way in when we bought it, we actually, two of our favourite things. The other thing that the Silverlines have that most vans I've found don't have is this front window. It's awesome, and again, if I was designing my own caravan from scratch, I would definitely put this in. It keeps it so light, you get a beautiful breeze that comes through in the morning. You know, when we're in the middle of nowhere, we wake up, get to see the sunrise. It's just awesome. Definitely have this if you have a choice. So that's it for the tour of our van, guys. I hope you've really enjoyed it. If you've got any questions about the Jayco Silverline Outback, shoot them in the comments below. We'll be happy to answer them. If you're new here and you haven't checked out our adventures around Australia, please make sure you go to our channel and hit subscribe and watch a few of those videos. We're still amateurs, we're still having a crack, but we're having a good time doing it, and hopefully you guys get something out of it. Okay, so I think that's a wrap, and I can smell the lamb and it smells perfect, so I'm gonna go eat that now.